Hello and welcome to today's session. This is your orientation session. So the rundown of how the network is set up, we're going to give you a little bit of a tour behind the scenes so you can easily find those pieces it is that you need to access. But first, we're going to launch into who needs to join us in the GoodFood Network. So the GoodFood Network is a one-place repository that has a combination of different kinds of sessions. Live stuff, that you can join us in the moment. If you can't join us in the live moment, then we've got a replay available later. There's also some other material available, and that's kind of the extra pieces. I think the biggest part of what the GoodFood Network can offer is once a week we meet on Thursday mornings for these live sessions, and they are all built around our main topic for the month. And in the month of July and August, we are pivoting to a brand new topic I've yet to cover, and I cannot believe I haven't done it so far. I feel I feel like I'm coming back around to so many things that's just becoming more and more clear. And we are doing 2 months on metabolism and why this is so much more than just the weight piece. I think when most people think metabolism, they go to weight. No, well, yes, totally. But also, it's like so much more. It is so much more. And in fact, what I'm seeing in clients and in myself as well is that those of us struggling with these chronic symptoms that kind of are just below the surface, kind of a little annoying, or some of these things that you go to the doctor and they're like, pat, pat on the head, you're fine. And you're like, feel fine. This is all metabolic health that is struggling. So we're going to go through how to know if your metabolism is struggling. So hang tight for that. And then I want you to stick around because I'm going to run through what it is we're going to be addressing and how we're going to dive into this content in the month of July in particular. And we've got more coming up in August because I don't like to just stick to one topic for a month. We like to dive deep, and deep we will go. So let's start first with, how do you know if you have metabolic health issues? I'm going to give you my top 10. These are the reasons that you will want to join us in the Good Food Network. Spoiler alert. These are the ways that I see in my one-on-one discussions with clients. I have in big capital letters when they answer yes to any of these, need to work on metabolism. And for me, working on metabolism is creating biochemical safety in the body. That's essentially what working at metabolism is. So, number one on the list, how many of these do you say yes to? Number one, do you get frequent blood sugar dips? And that can show up like shakiness, anxiety, the hangry feeling, irritability, a sudden hunger where you might punch someone in the throat if they're going to ask you one more question. I said it's a session about me. Number two that I see with my clients, do you struggle with mood? Do you have mood instability? Here we can count in anxiety, we can count in low moods, unexplained irritability, like I can't tolerate other people's stuff because like get out of my face. Or is that perimenopause? Yeah, maybe both. Number three, persistent inflammation or histamine-related symptoms. Those, you can better believe it. We are going to be doing a piece at supporting your metabolism behind the scenes if you say yes to those. Number four, chronic energy low dips. Do you have chronic low energy that is not improving with sleep, that is not improving with rest, and is very persistent and is affecting your quality of life? Like deep fatigue. Mhm. Number five, muscle weaknesses, unexplained aches and pains. Mhm. Interesting, something is awry in your metabolism. Number six, this is the one where I really wish those of us who have histamine issues would really get this one. Are you ready? Difficulty managing stress. If you understand that stress that is not managed drives histamine release in the body. What of that is a metabolic health issue that's struggling? A lot of it. Yeah. So, difficulty managing stress. You can feel overwhelmed. You can feel wired and tired regularly in the evening. Um, when really stressful things come, it's like, and I can feel it in my body when I do that because it feels like putting up a wall and going, no, 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 I can't even, don't even, please don't even, I can't even hear you say it. Like the act of hearing someone say it sends you over the edge. You're not in a place where you can say, wow, sounds like you're having a hard time. Let's deal with it. I'll help you. You can't even have someone come at you with things. Yeah. That's a huge, huge sign your metabolic health needs support. Number 7, if I could count. Math. Yeah, no, I was very good in math. Do you have cravings? All kinds of cravings. I could link it back to metabolic health, all types of cravings. If you have cravings for sugar, if you have cravings for pasta, if you have cravings for coffee, can you not get through your workday without a cup of coffee? Do you have cravings for chocolate? Do you have other types of cravings that come at different times of the day? They are absolutely a sign that your metabolic health is asking for help, but is still functioning well and letting you know what it is that she needs. Mhm. Yeah, salty foods. Salty foods is another one. Chips, those kinds of things. Or, these are cravings, but are you the person who can't say no to the bowl of chips on the table? And all of a sudden you just ate a whole bowl and you're at the party and you're mortified. Oh, what? I did say this is a class about me. That's number 7. Number 8. Sorry, pals, but this is another really clear indicator. Do you have reduced motivation? Or you can see it the other way. Do you have a flat emotional state? That's a tricky one to talk about because I also feel like, we're living in a wild time and we're seeing really big shifts in how our society works, how the systems, there's exposing of things, there's a lot of things coming to the surface, there's a lot of what feels like hoodwinking going on. So I feel like this is a little bit tricky one to mention, but if there is a flat emotional state, or if you're noticing for yourself that there is a reduction in the motivation going on, that could very well actually have a metabolic health component to it. Yeah. Also, are you live in 2025? Number 9. This should not surprise you for anybody who has ever worked with me or taken any of my classes. Number 9, sleep disturbances. Oh, fart, Luka. Yeah, I know. Do you have trouble falling asleep? Are you somebody who has a hard time staying asleep? Do you wake up to pee in the night? Do you wake up with the racing thoughts? Do you wake up in a start? Oh my God, I forgot to pick up the dry cleaning. Do you wake up making a list of all the mistakes you've made in your life in the middle of the night? Or further to that, do you wake up and are like snooze 10 times? So anything to do with sleep, absolutely metabolic health potential dysregulation going on. Number 10. Again, are you a human in 2025? Brain fog or concentration problems? Yeah, metabolic health is all about energy and metabolism of what it takes for you to utilize the nutrients you ate to turn into energy. And brain and cognitive function is a metabolic act. So anybody with brain fog or poor concentration or memory lapses, like where there's some that are sort of we deem are, well, that's just normal, right? Like it's common. Yay, it's a party. I don't know how I trigger these. I do know how I trigger them. I can't untrigger them because I always like a little fun party vibe in my videos. But with this brain fog and poor concentration, are these potentially kind of common? You're thinking you're moving through perimenopause and you're like, yeah, no, I guess it's just kind of what happens at this age. Yes, it is what happens at this age. Yes, but at this age and in this transition season is also an invitation to look at it and look deeper and see how things are working behind the scenes. And this is one of those telltale signs that is saying, you might benefit from bolstering and supporting your metabolism. We'll go over what metabolism is in a minute. Those are your top 10. I've got more. I'm nothing if not thorough. How else? So, if you're saying yes to any of these, I want you to know it's time for you to join us in the Good Food Network. The summertime is a really nice time. If the only thing you do is you come and check in with the once a week session that we do called Food is Medicine, then you're going to get your money's worth, your entertainment's worth, because there's jokes and myth busting all the time. And you're going to get some really concrete things to put in place that are small, doable steps that you can start to build into how you move through your days in order to support the metabolism in particular. How else might you know your metabolism is struggling? Are you ready? Do you feel wired but exhausted? You can't sleep, yet you are drained all day. Give yourself a point. Do you have hot flashes, night sweats, or having trouble with hormonal shifts like perimenopause or menopause? Oh, your metabolism is having a hard time. We talked about those digestive issues like bloating, constipation, sluggish digestion, diarrhea all the time. Oh, baby, your metabolism is having a hard time. Do you struggle? No, we said that already. Skin sensitivity, skin dryness, cracked heels, unexpected breakouts. How's your metabolism? Blood sugar ups and downs, fatigue that won't quit no matter how much you rest, histamine flares, increased immune reactions. Yeah. History of viral infections. That has a really deep impact on your metabolic health, actually. Do you have trouble with anything to do with hormonal balance? Here we're talking about your cycle, if you are menstruating, PMS. Yeah. Do you see? I can't not do these. So, PMS, cycle-related things, cramps, periods, trouble through perimenopause, thyroid issues is another hormone balancing thing, fertility. Making a baby is a metabolic act. And if you're struggling at making a baby, there's something else going on. Chronic low energy doesn't improve with rest or sleep. We talked about these already. Mood, sleep, inflammation, histamine, digestion, cold intolerance. Do you feel chilled easily? Slow recovery from illness or injury, or an inability to actually handle a workout. You are tuckered out and you need 5 days recouping from it. Oh, baby. Muscle weakness. Brain cognitive things. Yes. Okay, we said all these things. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, listen, I'm going to be very clear. We're talking about metabolism over the month of July and August. Do you know what metabolism is? Being human is a metabolic act. Great. So if you are a human currently alive and you're like, I am looking to hitch my wagon to something that's going to keep me feeling good about those things I'm introducing and help me find my way. The Good Food Network is for the person who is a former client of mine that wants to revisit some of the things we've talked about and have some of those reminders of what it was that we talked about. Or somebody who's a former client who now has done good work and now has the cognitive space and the capacity to now understand the why behind the reasons it is we were doing what it was we were doing. It's also for the person who has long wanted to potentially be a client, but for time constraints or financial reasons has not been able to work one-on-one with me. The Good Food Network has the to-do steps I share with clients. It's also a place for anybody who wants to learn about metabolism and wants to understand the complexity of all of the moving parts that have a role to play. It's also for the person who's just looking for accountability, something to come in their inbox each week to say, hey, hi, here's something to think about when it comes to health and wellness. And when you work at Metabolic Health, the goal is to aim for something called metabolic flexibility. It's going to have its whole session on its own in August, why metabolic flexibility is what it is we're aiming for. And the secret is that when you aim for that, now you're actually supporting longevity. You're supporting wellness. You're supporting a body that functions better. Lord knows there's a lot coming at us. So this is about clarifying what it is it takes to make a body function day to day. So let's get a little bit deeper into what some of this metabolic work is and how the Good Food Network is going to help with it. Now, I had a slideshow open. Is it open? Oh, it is still open. Oh, phew. Okay. So I am going to jump over and share my screen in order to make it easy. Voila. So I got a little slideshow for us because I'm nothing if not pretty. I mean, this face is nice to look at, but that's enough, yeah? So in the month of July and August in the Good Food Network, this is one of the modules that we've got. So I'm going to take you through. This is kind of the explanation of what it is we're covering and how it has the potential of impacting your body. We are diving into metabolism. This is your metabolism. It does so much more than just burning calories and balancing your weight. We're going to talk about how it shapes your stress response and how it plays a role in the proliferation of your symptoms. That is code word for look after your metabolism, reduce what's driving symptoms, feel better. Oh my God, is that simple, Luka? Yes, it is. So when your metabolism is out of sync, you're going to feel it. You're going to have some of those symptoms we've already talked about. You're going to have crashing energy, brain fog, stubborn weight, totally is one of them. I am not your weight loss person, but you're going to struggle with mood stuff. You're going to have histamine flares. You're going to have sleep struggles. You're going to have blood sugar dips, cravings. The list goes on. Yeah. Sleep stuff, blah, blah. And if you're in perimenopause or menopause, these symptoms can hit even harder. And that's very often when we move through perimenopause, it's a report card on our metabolic health. How well we move through perimenopause is a report card on how your metabolic health is. So, the bright side of this whole equation, no matter whatever stage of life you're at, supporting your metabolism, and in particular here, your thyroid and blood sugar balancing. Those are two of the big tenets we're going to be addressing in the Good Food Network these next 2 months. This is going to help reduce stress. It's going to help calm inflammation, and it's going to help to lighten the load, that whole stress load, the burden of stress. It's going to reduce it. This is the single biggest way to reduce your own personal burden of stress. When your metabolism is supported, everything works better. Your energy is steady. Your mood lifts. Your hormones flow more smoothly. Inflammation quiets down. This is not about weight. This is about function. It's about balance. It's about resilience. It's about instilling that flexibility. So let's talk about how to get there. That's what the Good Food Network is about. Yeah, when you have these symptoms we've just talked about, they're not just random symptoms or signs of aging. They're signals that your metabolism and your energy systems are under stress. And that is now having an impact and impeding the work of hormones. It is driving inflammation. It drives blood sugar balance issues and insulin resistance and everything that comes with that. And it's driving chronic stress. This to me is just a slam, 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 slam of things from that internal burden of stress that is making your whole burden of stress even higher. Yeah. So, in all of this, the one thing I want to be clear, and this is woven into every session we do, you are not broken. Your body is asking for the right kind of metabolic supports that it takes for your body to function. It's asking for nourishment that fuels your energy and everything involved in those energy systems. Your body's asking to calm inflammation. It's asking to restore balance. And if you're not going to do it through the inputs you're doing, then she's going to try to do it on her own. And that's what's driving some of those symptoms. So when we give your metabolism the care it needs, you're going to start to feel your best inside and out. That's my goal for you. That is such an AI image. I don't think that's a true image. Anyway, fakerton. So when your metabolism is struggling, what is going on beneath the surface? For anybody who said yes to the symptoms, then how is your metabolism working? That's my question. And if your metabolism isn't working, what is impacted? So when your metabolism is out of balance, so is your stress response and your stress resilience. And when this gets impacted, it shows up as feeling wired and tired. You feel overwhelmed. You are anxious. You cannot have another person coming at you asking for something that they need help with. You want to punch people in the face. Is that just me? Yeah. Number two, when your metabolism is out of balance, so are hormones, and so is that shift through to menopause. This is where you start to get irregular cycles. Now, let me be very clear. You are going to have irregular cycles as you shift from the fertile years to the non-fertile years, right? Of course. That's a natural progression. And there is a certain erraticness to your cycles that is within normal range. Absolutely. But if you are not quite yet into the range of years where some of that menstrual function is starting to slow down or not show up as often, if you're 37 and somebody says, oh, you're just into early menopause, are you? Or maybe this cycle is irregular and how's your metabolic health going? When you've got metabolic health that's not working well, you're going to have more hot flashes. When your metabolic health is struggling, you are going to get some sleep disturbances, and I'll add to that mood stuff. Mood stuff in menopause, as that piece showing up. Sleep disturbances. These are the two most common ones that I see in my clientele that is moving through, yeah, it's a party, that is moving through perimenopause into menopause. Those are massive indicators that your metabolic health is asking for help. And when I support clients who are struggling with those symptoms, if we specifically look at supporting your metabolism, now those symptoms are not as disruptive and they start to fade away into the background. What else? When your metabolism is out of balance, so is your thyroid function. This is where you'll have those symptoms of feeling cold. Another one is hair thinning. I had a client, sweetheart of a human, one of my favorite humans on the planet, who said, oh no, it's really great. I've lost all the hair on my legs. I no longer need to shave. It's so nice. Well, that could be an indicator of thyroid stuff going on. Slow down everything. When your thyroid starts to ramp down, and it will when the metabolism is struggling, that's one of the things that happens. Now you're impacting everything the thyroid does. What else does the thyroid impact? Well, your brain and your mood. Yeah, so when your metabolism is out of balance, thyroid gets downregulated. Now your brain function and your mood function are impacted. Foggy thinking, low motivation, mood swings. Further to that, your thyroid is the queen of digestion. So if you understand that when metabolic health is struggling, thyroid is downregulated, now you're starting to see an impact on your digestion. What does this show up as? Sluggish bowels, code for constipation. Bloating, SIBO, for sure. Poor appetite cues, nausea when you first wake up in the morning. Those types of things. Anything potentially related to digestion has at the root a very big potential metabolic health player to the piece of the puzzle. Further to this, when your metabolism is out of balance, oh, I could get in trouble for this, but histamine issues show up and inflammation. And when I come at things and we support your metabolism first, then we save you from having to go to a low histamine approach, of which I built one. And so I'm working myself out of work. I know it's not very smart, but I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't say, listen, we need to look at your metabolism. And when you look at after metabolism, when you bolster that metabolism, when you really help to set up the system to work better, histamine issues and immune system stuff starts to not be as reactive, starts to not be as frequent. Does it fix the whole issue? No. Does it drastically reduce the reactivity? Oh, yeah, absolutely. So your flare-ups, your congestion, skin irritation, anything related to histamine, yeah? Last but not least, when your metabolism is out of balance, so is your energy. This is midday crashes, morning fatigue, no fuel in the tank, hitting snooze 10 times before you have to get out of bed. Please don't make me come up with another answer to your bloody question. That is not the word I was going to use. I was going to use a swear word. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what's happening beneath the surface. All of these signs tell us metabolic health is struggling. When you look after metabolism and really fortifying it in the body, now you're going to start to improve all of these pieces that are struggling. So where it's showing up is the way in. How do we support your metabolism? Yeah, I think of your metabolism as a really brightly lit lantern. I want to make your lantern shine bright. And when your metabolism is working well, that inner lantern is working well. So instead of pushing through, instead of blaming your body, and instead of adding more stress to an already frazzled nervous system that is triggering this stress response all the time, I propose we shift into support mode. And these are the things that we're going to be doing inside of the Good Food Network this month. So when you fuel your cells, when you nourish with whole foods that are really specifically aimed at supporting energy and repair and resilience, now you're actually helping metabolism to work better. And every week there's a food to focus on inside the Good Food Network. When we support your metabolism, we actually help facilitate a little bit better stress resilience. And we do that by actually directly supporting both your adrenals and your nervous system. And we'll be talking about their role in some of the sessions in the Good Food Network. And we will be doing some pointed support for the nervous system and adrenals. Your nervous system perceives stress, whether it's real stress or perceived stress, it's the same biochemistry in the brain. That triggers the adrenals to work hard. And when your adrenals are on, you downregulate the thyroid. Your thyroid is your main engine for metabolism. So as the stress goes up, so downregulates the thyroid, your main engine. Now you go to your backup generator, which are your adrenals. Oh, so if we support your adrenals and we support that nervous system piece, now we're going to bring your metabolism back online. Your thyroid is going to be better bolstered. Now you're going to have better recovery on so many fronts. How else do we balance your metabolism? We directly address balancing blood sugars. This is a cornerstone of metabolic health. Creating steady energy is one of the things that you'll see. You start to calm mood swings, you start to ease inflammation. Blood sugar balance is a symptom of a system that is dysregulated. And when we bolster the system, now we quiet that outer layer. We're getting to the core of what is triggering all of these things in the body. In addition, when we support your metabolism, we're restoring hormonal flow. When you do that, you're stopping your reliance on adrenals and you're going back to the thyroid. This helps support smoother menstrual cycles, smoother transition through perimenopause into menopause. And don't forget, when we talk hormones, it's really key to address sleep. Sleep is a hormonal act. When we support your metabolism, oh boy, we start to calm histamine issues. We start to calm inflammation. And we ease those symptoms that are particular to you. They'll be different from one person to the next. But we're going to support your metabolism with the correct fuel, those foods that are going to go the extra mile. We're going to build stress resilient by looking after your adrenals and your nervous system. We're going to be doing some food pieces that are going to help you balance blood sugars. We're going to be doing other things to help support hormonal function, which then eases the whole system. And we'll be doing some calming of histamine and inflammation pieces as well in order to help metabolism come back strong on its own. So when you support your metabolism, you're going to start to ease symptoms. What are your symptoms? What did you say yes to from the list we went to? Those are going to start to recede in the distance. You'll also see an improvement in energy, in mood, in cognitive capacity, I will add to here, and overall vitality. And everything's just going to work that much better. So where would you start? You're going to join us in the Good Food Network. This is what we're going to be doing. There's a conversation every week. One of the weeks, there's 2 conversations. You can join us live. You can catch the replay. There's a bunch of extra stuff too. Don't worry about that stuff. Wait till you get there. I'll show you where the stuff that counts is, because you're here because of metabolism. So join the conversation. Our month's focus is for metabolism. So we've got a full 2-hour class doing in the middle of the month, July 16th, called SOS Metabolism. You're going to be able to join that class included in the Good Food Network. You can also sign up for the class by itself if you want to. But I'll tell you, this is going to be a big needle mover, and so are those weekly sessions we do on Thursday morning. They're called Food as Medicine. I'll show you where to find them. Check the schedule module for key dates and links that you will want to. Actually, there's no links in it, there's just key dates. And use a monthly checklist. I'll show you what the checklist looks like. It helps you prioritize what it is you want to do. Now, in addition to this, for anybody joining us in the Good Food Network, for the month of July and August, we're actually going to be doing a full deep dive in a class you can access however many times you want. You can take as long as you want to get through it. It's my Vitality Thyroid class. It's a class I used to do with the Light Seller, and it's a class that goes deep into what is it that the thyroid does? What is it that impedes the thyroid's function? What do we need for the thyroid to work well? And how do we start putting pieces in place to support the thyroid? And the thyroid is the grand conductor of your whole metabolic function. So you can see how your thyroid fuels metabolism, energy, and hormone balance. So if that's another area you want to dive into, you happen to have a lot of time this summer, then you'll make sure to make time for that. If you're overwhelmed, just do the first pieces, the first dot there, the SOS metabolism and those weekly Food as Medicine sessions. Got more time? Want to learn more? Do the Vitality Thyroid class. And take only what you need. Leave what you don't. Because overall, the goal is to support and not stress. When we're adding more stress, we are undoing what it is we're trying to do. Always, always, always support, not stress. So you become the caretaker of how much information, how much content you want to pull out, how much you want to use, and what you want to leave behind and say, no, that's enough, thank you. That's it for that presentation. Oh, and now I don't have. No, I want to stop sharing. There we go. Yes, I think it's closed. Let's make sure. There we go. Okay, so now we're back. So that takes us through what it is we're doing in the Good Food Network, how to know if you're maybe a contender to join us. I'd love for you to join us. I'm going to make sure I've got links below. So I've got 3 links. 1, 2, 3. The first one is for a discovery call with me. If you know that you want to have a conversation first and you're like, I'm not sure if this would be for me. I want to sit with Luka first and figure it out. Book in for a discovery call. That is link number 1. It's a 30-minute call. We'll chat on Zoom, pick a time that works for you, and let's see if this is a fit for you. Number 2, we're going to link right to the Good Food Network itself for you to register. So that's the registration button where it's going to be very easy for you to register. If you still have questions, but you want the full information on the Good Food Network and you want to do a little bit of asking your own questions first, you want to skip the discovery call, but you want to ask a couple more questions to find out if this is the right fit for you, then you're going to go to link number 3 just below. And that's going to give you a full rundown. There's a section on how do I know if the network is for me? How do I know if the network is not for me? That's going to help you decide for yourself. So use any of those 3 links that you need. Again, the first one is a discovery call. Number 2 is to register to de suite. You will get access as soon as you set up your account. Number 3, if you want more information because you want to figure it out on your own, whether or not you want to join, asking yourself more questions, go to link number 3. Now, the second part of this session is meant to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes. It also serves as an orientation, introduction, a behind the scenes peek, but also a crash course on how to access everything. So let's go to this guy. Oh yeah, I don't need this. And we are going to go to what it looks like when you join me in the Good Food Network. So here in the Good Food Network, it's hosted on a website called Practice Better. That's the hub, I call it. And it will require you to build a password. You don't have to pay anything extra over and above the cost of the network. This creating a password allows you to access the content. And the content is here on Practice Better. And I have this website. I'll show you how to get and navigate to those pieces you need. It's very straightforward. I will have you know you cannot break anything. You will maybe be confused at first if you have some cognitive impact on your metabolic health not working well. But I'll tell you, you need to know 3 spots. programs, chat bubble, and another way in is this way, and I suppose upcoming sessions. So your three are programs, the chat bubble, and upcoming sessions. Those are the only three things you're going to need when you join us in the Good Food Network. So let's start with the first one, your programs. The Good Food Network is right there, GF Network. Click on that and you enter the network. It takes you directly to the modules themselves. I'm going to maximize my screen because I think, yeah, we get to see a little bit better. So when you come into the Good Food Network, you've got here on the left-hand side, it tells you where you are in your menu. There's an overview, there's modules, there's a chat, the sessions themselves, and your progress. So I want you to get to the modules because that's where the content is. And I've broken them down into a couple of different sections. We've got the Start Here section, the pre-recorded content, the live sessions, and the written content. So when you first arrive, I'm going to say, why don't you start on the module that says Start Here, Kitten? Because that's a good place to start. You're going to get an orientation to the network. It'll explain a little bit more detail of what all the parts are if you need it. And if you want a little bit more information, if you're like, I don't want that much information, Luka, I just want to get to the content. Let's show you where the content is. You've got a schedule and a checklist. You've got that module on our main topic. I just took you through it. You've already watched it. So when you've watched it, click on complete, mark completed, because you've already looked at it. That's correct. Go back to your program. Oh, look, it's completed. I've already done this module. Good for you. Do you see how easy it is? All about your network subscription. This is to do with any of those administrative tasks like I want to cancel my subscription, I'm changing credit cards, I have questions about access, blah, blah. That's where you're going to get this content. So make sure you check that if you have questions. Now, schedule and checklist is usually, if you don't want to do the training, this is where you're going to want to jump to. Because these are your handouts that are going to help you make sense of the Good Food Network. We've got a calendar for the month. This lists all the live sessions and what time they're at if you want to join us live. It also gives you a checklist for the month. These are all the potential things you can do, and there's too much on here. So your first order of business is to print this up and scratch out what you're not going to do. Yeah, if you only want, I sounded like a mom speaking to a child there, sorry. If you for sure want to catch the SOS Metabolism class, write down number 1. If you want to catch those live Food is Medicine classes on Thursday mornings, then write number 2. Scratch everything else out if you want. I don't care. I offer too much. I hear that time and again. Well, you don't have to check it all out. You have to become the gatekeeper, actually, and you have to say, I don't want that, Luka. Yeah, it's a two-way, that's how we make it a two-way conversation. And that's how we have some content that is not usually available to other people is now available in the Good Food Network. So you do you, boo. Check what it is you want and scratch out what you don't want to do. And you just download to your computer here and you print from your downloads folder. There's a third sheet. I have a worksheet for each month. This is your one-page cheat sheet. You're going to print this up. You're going to leave it next to where you're going to do your sessions. And in this, I'm going to lead you through how to use it in each of the sessions. As we go through the content, you're going to write down why you're working on metabolism. What symptoms did you say yes to today? Jot those down. I have brain fog. I trouble through perimenopause. I have blood sugar regulation issues. I have cravings. I can't sleep. Whatever you said yes to your symptoms, jot those down here. As you go through the content, you're going to be clear on to-do pieces. You've got action items regarding food and action items regarding lifestyle and more. So this is where you're going to jot down your work as you go through the month. And that way, this is going to live in your life as a one-page cheat sheet of what is it that you want to do and the to-do pieces, if you will. Once you've printed them, you know what to do. You click on Mark Completed. Number 1, it lets me know that somebody is utilizing the network. Number 2, it makes it so when you come back, you go, oh, I don't have to look at that one again. You can view it, but you don't have to go back in. You're done. Let's go into the different sections of what you can find in the Good Food Network. There's the pre-recorded, so stuff you can access at all times, right from the get-go. There are live sessions, and I'll make the distinction here. Each live session has a replay as well. The replays are in the modules attached to the live sessions, because they started as a live session, and then the replay is in there. And then we have a last section on written content. I want to start with the live session because these are the two spots that are going to give you the best benefit of joining the Good Food Network. The rest you can explore at your own time. So Food is Medicine is those sessions we do on Thursday morning, 7 a.m. Alberta time. Adjust for where you are in the world. It's 3 p.m. for me in the Netherlands. But these are the topics we're doing. So we're going to be diving into Metabolism 101. What are the basics? We're doing that this week. We've got thyroid's role in metabolism in week 2. Week 3, inflammation as a metabolic break. Number 4, we're doing the liver's role in metabolism. And number 5, the metabolism as the root of resilient aging. We're going to be getting into more topics in August, so this is not everything, but I'm trying to sequester big topics tied to metabolism so that each week you can get a different piece to the puzzle as a way into supporting your metabolism. And when we do the sessions, the replays are always at the bottom. The latest one will always be at the top, and the past sessions will come below there. So when you're ready to watch, if you want to join us live, I'll show you how to join live in a minute. But if you've missed our live sessions and you want to catch the replay, keep scrolling down to the bottom of the module. So these are the weekly live sessions on Thursdays. The other live session we're doing this month is that SOS Metabolism. This is a full 2-hour class. And we're doing this on July 16th. And it is an absolute deep dive into metabolism. So we're going to be talking about the main players that influence your metabolism, identify those common roadblocks that keep your metabolism stuck. We're going to learn practical food first strategies, lifestyle tweaks to help support steady energy, hormone harmony. We're going to also get into nutrient gaps, how stress impacts a lot of different things, and then build that plan for you moving forward. Now, like every live module, scroll down and you'll get the replay. Once we've got the replay available, it's here. All you have to do is click on the button and it takes you right to the replay video. And then we've got handouts. They're also below. So I've got a little header for each section to find it easily. Catch the replay, handouts and recipes, any extras name checked in the class. I've got extras down here to take the work further for those who are ready for next steps. So once you've watched the replay, this is where you can click on Mark Completed. Confirm, go back to my program, and now I know I've done that class and I don't need to come back to it. Those are the two biggest pieces of the network, those live sessions that we're doing. There's also pre-recorded content. This is stuff that I've done in the past that is hard to find or is often hidden or I don't have available all the time. I've got a full like massive piece on meal planning. So if you wanted to build meal planning, if you're like, I know I need meal planning in my life, I've got a full meal planning toolkit with like an hour and a half of videos to help you build meal planning that works for you. I don't build it for you, although they are in there. I tell you how to build your own, and I give you instructions and handouts and a bunch of different things. So if you were to join the Good Food Network and only do this module, you would be ahead of the game. I've also got that full vitality class on the thyroid. So check that out if you want to dive even deeper into metabolic health. That one on its own is 80 bucks. So in the network, it's 35 for the month. It's like renting at Blockbuster as opposed to owning it. Correct. Then we've got a cooking class. This was the start of the pandemic. I did a junior high cooking class with my daughter, and we did 10 sessions with the junior high kids at her school, and we recorded them. And we did 2 sessions on pizza. I've got them smashed together for the summer so that you can do some scratch cooking with us, making pizza from scratch. Your life will change. You'll never go back to takeout again. Word to the wise. Maybe you don't want to watch the class. Anyway. So these are available whenever you want. They are the extras that come in the Good Food Network when you join. I've also got some written content. This is the easy print kind of stuff. We've got recipes each month. We've got 5 this month. So if you want to print the recipes, go on in and print them up right there. We've got a weekly good food challenge. And we've got a full module on eating with the summer season. I talk about circadian rhythm all the time. This is a really big piece to the puzzle. So I love this piece, Eating with the Seasons. It's an invitation on how to align with what's available in the season and what is the work of the summer, for example. So check that out if you want. But this weekly good food challenge, this is to support metabolism. So this is another really great piece that's updated each Monday. Every Monday, there's the latest one at the top, and then we've got the earlier challenges that get bumped down to the bottom. So you can always check in and see what is the food challenge this week. Oh, I need to add cherries to meals and snacks. Now, this one was based on the liver, which was our topic for June. The last Monday we've had was in June. So cherries were specifically for the liver. So I always talk about what are the nutrients in there that are important and why it's good for you. Usually a food in season, and then I give you ideas on how to actually work them into your meals. Sometimes there's simple recipes. I added a how to preserve cherries if you've got them aplenty right now and you want to keep them. So this is a really nice way to help boost some of the content that we're covering and help you focus on a food. So each week there's a new food to focus on and an invitation to include it in your meals. That's how you start to work in the seasonal foods, the foods that support metabolism, and the whole foods way forward to bolster your metabolism. Yeah. So that's another piece in there I wanted to highlight. Those are all the best parts of the Good Food Network. Now, there is one last piece I want to highlight. We've got our group chat. We've got a group chat that goes with, oh good, it doesn't show, okay. So we've got a group chat that goes on in the Good Food Network. And I can't remember, I think this way is better. So if you use the chat bubble up top here, you've got the Good Food Network. Are we? Okay. You can see the names of people who are in the network, and I don't want to leave it there for everybody to see. And we're down for the summer. It usually happens. It's cool. But here, this is where I drop a note when there is something new in the network. So for example, there's new content that was made available on July 1st. So I drop in word. Now we had the cherries. So if you're just checking really quickly on the chat and you don't want to go see different ways to cook them, now you can just add cherries to your meals, add it to the grocery list. New month, new content. A little heads up that we were changing things around. Last week, our Thursday morning session was on liver and kidneys, your detox tag team. So that I always drop that there's something coming. And when the recording is ready, it's in the comment. So that everything is packaged together, it's easy to find, so that, for example, if you are the person who checks in on Sunday mornings, you can go and see what chats have been added in the last week, because that's going to tell you what is the new pieces you can access. So you can use it this way. You can also use it as a place to ask your questions. So you, as a participant in the Good Food Network, can type, "Hey, Luka, I think I have metabolic health issues, but I'm not sure. Is blood sugar stuff a metabolic thing?" Right? And then you can post it for everybody in the network to see, or you can also get in touch with me and send me a question. You can see I've done this many times now. "Hey, I have a question, Luka." And then you can jot it down here. It comes to me directly and I will answer. So when you join the Good Food Network, this is a bonus piece. You get to ask questions. And if you've got too many questions, I have a system, don't worry. I'll direct you on how to get answers for what it is you're looking for. But that's the Good Food Network. So we've got those two things. Under programs, Good Food Network, that's one of the places. And this chat bubble up top brings you to the group chat and where everybody is, if you want to add things. Now, when it comes to the live sessions, this is one last piece I want to show you. So we've got our live sessions. They are usually all listed down here. This is called a widget, in case you want to know. So your upcoming sessions widget has the links to all of those Zoom calls. So our orientation call happening right now, it always updates to your own time zone. So while it happens at 9 a.m. in Alberta, I'm actually in the Netherlands. So I'm on Amsterdam time. So it updates it to my time zone. So that's an important piece to know. So you don't have to figure it out for yourself or do any kind of time conversion, which is good, time zone conversions. When it comes time to join, there's a little icon here with a camera. If you want to join the class live, you click on the camera icon, you're in. It's going to bring you to the Zoom room where we're meeting directly. If you want to join us for that Food is Medicine weekly session happening tomorrow, where we'll be talking about Metabolism 101, doing that crash course, 7 a.m., I'll tell you, your cameras are off, your mics are off, so you can be in the background making breakfast and I'm chit-chatting away. Click on this little camera icon. It's going to take you directly to the Zoom link, and so on and so forth. We've got that live class coming up on Wednesday, July 16th. Another Food is Medicine. So they're all going to be listed down here. So when it comes time, just click on that Zoom link. That's all you need to know. Now, one last piece. If you're joining us, when you join us in the Good Food Network, I want you to know that you'll be able to log in to the Good Food Network and the hub where it's hosted by going to my website. And each page on my website has a place to log into the hub. So go to lucasimmons.com and you'll be able to log into the hub there. Or I send you an email that has the link in one of those first emails you get. Save that, bookmark, and you're off to the races. So, who's going to join us in the Good Food Network this month? I cannot wait to connect with you. We're going to be doing some delicious things. There are so many jokes in the midst of it. We're going to keep it light and accessible. And we're going to demystify what it means to look after your metabolism. This is what I wish I knew 10 years ago when I first started in my work as a holistic nutrition practitioner. This is what I go to in supporting people's metabolism if they're not quite ready to do, or if they're, let me take a step back. If I have 10 people in front of me who have histamine issues, this is the majority of who I serve, 8 of them will not get a low histamine approach because they can't. It will make things worse for them because they are already stuck in a stress mode. 8 of them will actually start by looking after your metabolic health. That creates capacity, and then we get into histamine things afterwards. So, do you want to join me in the Good Food Network? Are you somebody who's self-motivated, who can do the work of checking in once a month? I give you some helpers along the way, don't worry, some reminders too. But are you somebody who's ready to put these pieces in place? And it's not just a short-term 6 months of doing this. These are what I propose doing a shift with, just how you serve your body on a day-to-day basis. It's just an overall reorganizing of how you approach your days and looking after yourself. That's what we do. It's for long life. And when you do it, everybody in your house that you share a roof with benefits from it because they often will come on board and join you or will be on the receiving end of some of these food choices that you're making. This is good work for every human because having strong metabolism is a human-sponsored act. Thanks for joining me on this Wednesday, July 2nd. I hope that you have a delightful weekend ahead, and I'll see you in the Good Food Network. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments wherever you're watching this video, or hit reply or whatever, and I'll get back to you. Look forward to seeing you. Salut, à bientôt!